YouTube says it has had enough of vaccine misinformation on its site.
And false stories from phony sites to run circles around major news outlets.
Many people don't know the difference between something real and something created to deceive them.
Open your eyes.
If you've ever had this feeling that something was terribly wrong with the world that we live in, but you couldn't figure out just what it was, then you've come to the right place. Secret societies, mystery religions, and the Illuminati have been controlling our reality since the beginning of time. But not anymore, because there is an awakening happening, and you are about to become a part of it. Wake up, because this is a call for an uprising.
This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. For anybody out there wondering how much of a threat they consider my content and you people who listen to my content, a subscriber just emailed me this. You have to see it to believe it. I didn't even know that this was a thing, but apparently it is. So as all of you know, the origins of Google lies in the CIA and the NSA and DARPA. The government runs Google, not just some guy who's a tech wizard. It's a government surveillance commodity. That's what it is for them, okay? Now, we all know about the censorship here on YouTube. You know that I've been silenced, yada, yada. Nobody cares anymore. I get it. I still care, okay? I still care. However, all of you know I have a website, at callforanuprising.com, right? And I kind of rely heavily on that for people to find my information, because I know that people will think of me when these things happen, and they'll search for me in a Google search, because they'd be very hard pressed to find someone that hasn't heard of me. You might find a lot of people who don't like me, that's different, but who haven't heard of me. So people look for me all the time when events happen. They say, hey, maybe I'll join the website, maybe I'll listen to what he has to say, because that's the only place I can find his content, right? So they would do a Google search to find my content. In fact, a lot of my subscribers on the website also use Google, because they'll go on their phone, it'll automatically open the Google browser, and they'll just type it in, they'll go to the website, they'll click, they'll auto sign in, and they'll watch a video, right? Well, look what somebody just shared with me. You could try it at home, try it on your browser, try it with me, try it after. Look at this. You start typing in a call for an uprising, okay, in a Google search, and what do you get? Oh, you get Afghans are answering the call for an uprising, tag a call for an uprising. You get some movie with the call for an uprising. You get some disgusting same-sex marriage opponents call for an uprising. You get a TikTok channel that's not mine. Now, there's my Podbean, which I'm not doing right now because that's also shadow banned on Podbean. There's a Facebook that's not mine, SoundCloud. Okay, so these are not me, right? Now, wouldn't the first thing that should show up be a website that has high traffic, which is my website, is high traffic? Okay, there are a lot of people that go to the website. Doesn't mean a lot of people are subscribed to the website, but a lot of people go there. They're often looking for me. A lot of people, when I leave the links, click and go there because they think it's a free website. Now, it's only $2.99, but that's my point, is that it should show up at the top of the search engine. But you might say, there's some other stuff that's more popular. Okay, well, how about this? We're continuing down. My website is banned. I repeat, banned from a Google search. You can't find it in a Google search. Look, call for an uprising Teespring. That's not even my Teespring. I have people out there who create Teesprings and use my content. I have a Teespring, which is on the website, click on store, but people have created Teesprings with my logo and sold merchandise, and Teespring hasn't banned them. I was banned from Teespring. Just continuing on here. Look at Sculpture, the call for an uprising. Call for an uprising. Somebody else's TikTok, right? There's my Rumble channel all the way at the bottom here, which I don't really use, but I have, and there's my Patreon. Look at it, all the way on the bottom here. But okay, I should be grateful that at least it shows up, right? At least it shows up somewhere. I mean, I'm not grateful of that. It should be at the very top, since it's my name, it's my channel, everybody knows who the voice is, amazing, right? But you can't find my website. This isn't a concern about how buried the website is, okay? I'm not complaining going, well, maybe you need good SEO, right? Maybe you don't have the right keywords in. Well, I don't really need them because it's the name of the website, but sure, you want to think that. How about my website's not available in a Google search? They've completely shadow banned the website. Look, I'm continuing. NPR, official Rumble channel called for an uprising, which I don't even think that one was mine. It's an uprising or a riot. These are all, apparently these, it's supposed to be based on volume, etc. None of these articles got more clicks than my website has gathered, because over the years my website's gotten, close to 70,000 people who have signed up for the mailing list, not for the actual pay website, but for the mailing list. So that's just, and that's not mentioning how many people have been there over a 7-year period. So now my website is completely shadow banned. So if anyone searches for me in Google, you won't find me. That's how bad they want to silence me. Now, why do you think that is? Is it that I'm so much better than other people? No, it's not. It's because the main truths that I reveal, which are all truths really, help bring you out of the hypnosis that you're in. I almost sometimes feel like a psychologist here talking about this stuff, which I'm not. But breaking you from the hypnosis. And specifically, they don't seem to like not just the satanic imagery, the signs, the symbols. They don't like the way that I break this stuff down, embarrass them, humiliate them, but also educate and wake people up. So tell me anybody out there who's like, hey, I don't know, you still have this channel. This channel is completely hidden. The second they get wind of it, it is gone. And it will be gone. Mark my words. I'm just sitting here and I'm not, just going to not use the channel ever. I can't leave videos up for a long period of time. So I needed to show you this because not to gain credibility, right? These other guys are constantly talking about censorship. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, you're not going to find anybody else in a Google search? I mean, you kidding me? You can't find nothing on me. The only things you can find are things smearing me or people thinking that I'm somebody that I'm not, which I actually am very okay with. I think it's funny. It entertains me when people think that they found out who I am and I'm somebody else and people think I'm a comedian who's not funny. That works for me. Go ahead and think I'm him. Go harass him. Have fun. Doesn't matter to me. Sure. Whatever floats your boat. It's psychotic behavior, but sure. So this is what we're dealing with, folks. So this is why I'm emphasizing join the website. But if you haven't joined the website, that's okay if you don't want to do that, okay? I do have other channels now, so this is what they are, okay? They are linked below, a Rebel Call and another channel called a Wake Up Call. Now, some people are not able to find the Wake Up Call one, but I recommend you find the Rebel Call one, okay? Now, event this one's gone, it's gone, okay? That's what we got to live with. But this is how much so if we know Google's run by the government, which we all should know, then we should start saying to ourselves, what is the problem that they have with me so much so? Because we've looked at this in the past, and a lot of people are like, man, you really just ruffle feathers. There's some employees there, you've really gotten under their skin. I've been like, yeah, I guess so, right? Making fun of the fudge packing and all that stuff. Sure, fine. And sometimes in the beginning, I looked at it and I was like, I guess I'm just under a couple people's skin, right? Well, you got to be under more than a couple people's skin to get banned off of YouTube. But to be completely shadow banned, you're clearly on the government radar. Now, a lot of you will say, well, why haven't they come and killed you? Well, that might be a bit of a problem for them. I'm sure they easily could do it. I mean, I don't question their ability to come and kill me. I don't really know how much that would benefit them versus getting caught, versus I have things in place if something were to happen to me that should open Pandora's box on them. But what's the best thing for them to possibly do is what they're doing right now. I mean, look at it. Look what's occurred. Look how many hundreds of thousands. I had billions of views, right? Nobody can find me. Completely silent. So you see what I'm saying when I talk about these alt-right people? They're not silenced. They still have all their accounts. They complain here and there about, but give me an utter break, really. So they've literally done what is the equivalent of actually killing me, which is silence me, because I'm pretty much useless now. I can't help wake people up because no one can find me anymore. In fact, they can't even find my website. So you tell me if I'm a threat to them. You tell me if they just are doing it because they want to troll me or they don't. So if you're out there and you're skeptical of me and you're like, oh, now I know that some people out there are like, well, it's good. They banned his website because it's hateful. And they actually think that it's something to do with hate speech, not understanding that the government doesn't want to be exposed. The intel agencies don't want to be exposed for what they really are. It's okay for the alt-right media to call out the CIA because it plays into the left-right paradigm. They want the conservatives to be anti-CIA, anti-FBI, because there's going to be a new version of it formed, like the OSS. Okay, it's Democrat communism versus Republican communism. In communism, let me say this from, what do they call it? From the standpoint of like an idiot's guide, okay? Not to call anyone an idiot, but the idiot's guide where if you know nothing about a topic, you're like, what is it? Okay, here's an idiot's guide. You read it. If you know nothing about communism, understand this. Okay, communism, which has been the enemy of humanity forever, is what they've constantly tried to reestablish. Okay, it's a total control system, slavery, where you own nothing and you're happy. That's exactly what the Great Reset talks about, right? Still don't hear the alt-right talking about communism. But in communism, you put the party before everything else. The party, the political party. So we can all look at Democrats and we realize that they're communists. They idolize the party. Their president could be falling downstairs, which is all an act, but still misinterpreting sentences 10 years ago, attacking against gays, saying racist comments. With the people are so into the party, it doesn't matter. They can overlook all that because it's about the party. The same with the Republicans. They're all about the party. They go, well, Donald Trump, I don't put him above God. I'm not a communist. Yes, they do put him above God. They say that he was sent from God as a prophet, which is one and the same. They just don't want to convince, they don't want to tell themselves that they're doing it. They want to think that they're like, oh, no, I still put God one, and then, I'll put Trump right underneath them. That's communism. They put the party first. The party comes first. It's Democrat communism and Republican communism. They're going to herd you into both of these. It's going to be the same exact thing. They don't want free, independent thinking. They don't want free, independent voices. They don't want you just thinking. That's what I've done best and most with my work, is just getting you to think. Just simple things. The video I put up on Aaron Rodgers and Jimmy Kimmel before. People were commenting to me they were like, I've never thought of it that way, right? About just basically saying, if you look at what's going on, right, where we talk about the hook at Sandy or any of these events that people like me expose, why they're so violent to threaten all of us, or why they're so, amplified to come after us and silence the truth and then say this is hate speech, this is this, this is that, right? But when there's a crime committed, all we ask for, right, in true crimes, people want to see the evidence, they want to watch the channels. They're like, look, this guy was here at 10 o'clock, his phone pinged off this tower, he's got to be guilty, right? They're allowed to say that about those cases. So why is it when there's cases that revolve around the hook at Sandy or the Las Vegas shooting or any of these schools, why are we not investigating these things? Why are we taking the government's word for these stories versus true crime stories? Think about that hypnosis that you're under. If you're somebody who's like, wait a minute, you're right, why are we not? Exactly. It's as simple as that. That's all I'm trying to do. That's what I'm doing here. That's what all of us who follow this channel have been trying to do, is tell you, look, when these things happen, why are there not investigations? You can look back to JFK, the Lee Harvey Oswald. You can have whatever belief you want about JFK's assassination. We all know Lee Harvey Oswald didn't do it. Some people don't even think he was killed. Okay, fine. Fine, right? There was not even a trial for that. Why? Because he's dead? Oh, okay. Is that the answer? So that summarizes why we have no trials for any of these school events. Because conveniently, they always make sure that the killer's not alive. It's Jane Doe. It's John Glass. It's George Glass, right? You never get to find out a motive, et cetera, et cetera. So these people just go, oh, that's the end of it then, right? But in these true crime cases, even if the supposed killer is gone, they still want answers. But most of the time, because the person's alive, they want to figure out who it is. So they want to investigate the true crimes. They're like, I need to know. I want to. They get obsessed. People are obsessed with this stuff, right? I'm not saying it's a bad thing or a good thing. I mean, that's how you want to spend your time. Fine. But why would you care in those cases? Why do you care about Chris Watts and the Colorado event, which is a tragic thing, right? If it's true or not. I don't know. I don't do research to see if these are all Manchurian candidates, but they obsess over it. What are his motives? Why did he do this? He's guilty. They watch the trial, right? But then these major events happen in our country. Major events. September 11th, Waco. I mean, Oklahoma City, Jonestown. Things I've covered are all available on the website. They look at current events. Parkland, Hook at Sandy. Nobody questioned it. Why? And they're like, well, it's disgusting to question it. This is what Jimmy Kimmel says. This is what the mainstream media, it's disgusting. Why is it disgusting? They're training you to think it's disgusting to question it. It's disgusting to question it, they're telling you, because they don't want you to question it. Because they don't want you to question news. Whatever they say goes. That's what they're telling you. Without any evidence at all that these events are real. But emotionally, people are so tied in, they can't get past that. They go, there's no way they can make that up. What do you mean there's no way they can make it up? Have you read war crimes that people like Henry Kissinger have committed in their lives? No way they can make it up? We're talking about some of these events where no one's even killed. So how is that even out of the realm of possibility? To fake people's deaths who weren't even real? You know what I mean? So, I mean, that for them, that's like a cakewalk. The other times where they actually killed the people with Manchurian candidates, well, I mean, that's hard for people to believe. You want me to understand that? I can't understand that. Because if people are really dying, don't you want to get to the bottom of it? And if you realized your government was really doing it, wouldn't that bother you? To realize that your government's filled with psychopaths, it's filled with the people that you look at as Jeffrey Dahmers and Ted Bundys, that those are your senators and your governors and your big tech corporation CEOs? Because that's the truth. That's why they're so hell-bent on science, people like us, and they're convincing you that it's the right thing to do. Silence them. It's hate speech. They're so nervous that they're doing it in the UK. Just put a video up on the website at callforanuprising.com about extremism. They're doing it everywhere because they're nervous. They don't want your brain to function. And they think now, because of the technology, because they have you so distracted, that they can get away with it. And they're realizing that it's backfiring on them because of people like me. They don't want you to be able to even find me anymore. Now, if that isn't a reason to go join the website, I don't know what is, but it's perfectly fine if you don't want to. I'm just telling you this because there's still people who follow me. They're like, "You're a show." Oh, yeah? Yeah, sure. You can't even find my website in a Google search. Did I do that to myself? Right? So let me see somebody say that, because I've heard people go, "Oh, he nukes his own channels." Yeah, that makes sense, because I love to do 45 channels a year where I'm sitting for 4,000 hours on each channel, which is like a long time, okay? Playing video games and doing walkthroughs of wax museums. I love to do that. I love spending a whole day doing that for one channel. That's like, 12 hours of content. Yeah, that's why. Oh, it makes them a victim. That makes people like them more. Does it? It makes people not be able to find me, not know who I am, not know where I am, and I just lose to the point where now I don't even have, 5,000 views a video. I saw somebody who did a video on me recently, and I saw, it was an old video, but I saw it come up in a search for my channel. And they were showing my channel just ripping into me. And every video I did had 200,000 views. I mean, it didn't matter what the topic was. It wasn't like, oh, he got a lot of views talking about Beyonce. It was like talking about basic Facebook CIA stuff, 200,000. And I would do 2 to 3 a day getting that many views. That's unheard of. It's unheard of. Because even the big channels that are pushed in the alt-right don't get that many views. And I'm not bragging about it. I'm telling you that's why I was such a threat. They had to get control over me, get control over my content, get control over my audience, and separate us from each other. I mean, I don't even know if there's a way physically for me, to get my channel so people are like, oh yeah, even though I have the emails and I prove it in all the videos. I don't even know how you would physically get your channel taken out of a Google search. If it's possible, if somebody out there like, it is possible, well, I wouldn't know how. And even so, why would I do that? For the people that are like, he's a shill, he wants to sell $3 memberships on his website where he only makes $2.50 anyway, because his money comes out, it goes to Wix. Well, wouldn't I still want to show up in the search engine? Wouldn't I still want people to find me? And then from there, sign up for free videos like I had that going so people could find me and just sign up for the mailing list. Oops. Oh, Google employees joined it. And then followed me around and deleted channel after channel after channel within 6 hours of me creating it. So I couldn't use the mailing list anymore. I have it for the website, for the people who are subscribed to get emails, but I can't tell people here I am, that's where I am, because it's at Google government, which means government employees, really, who are monitoring me. So tell me again, how bad I'm shilling for the website. I mean, that stuff doesn't get under my skin. It doesn't. But this does. It gets under my skin when now you can't find my channel in a Google search. A Google search. You can find porn in a Google search. You can find disgusting child stuff on YouTube in a YouTube search, but you can't find good old little old me. Yeah. And I think at this point, they're just like, how is this guy not quit? Because everybody's pretty much gone. And if you've left the platform, you've let them win. That's what they want, is you off the platform. Nobody else really had a website, all the old Truther Guard who had websites for people to join. So they see how much traffic I'm getting to. And they're like, all right, now people are just looking them up. So we can't have people even look them up anymore. They could find a TikTok channel that has people re-uploading his old stuff, but we can't then have them find him and his new content, especially with stuff that they have planned for 2025 and really for 2024 with the fake elections. It's crucial to them. So they're silencing me. They might as well kill me. People are like, why don't they just come and shoot you? Well, they went and got Bill Cooper. They went and got other people. Well, because the internet didn't exist the way it does now. So they're virtually killing me. This is, if I get completely scrubbed off the internet, like they take my website down, which is next, just wait for a few laws to be in place where they could rinky-dink around it. They'll wipe out the website. They'll wipe out my website revenue. They'll wipe out my reach to my audience, all of it, right? And then it'd be as if I was dead because nobody would know. They just know a call for an uprising. They don't know my name. Don't know where I live. They don't need to come murder me. They're literally murdering me on the internet. And people are like, that's a little over the top. Is it? Is it? Doesn't happen to other people. Not like this. Not where it's like, boom, he's gone. And how many people already think I'm dead anyway? I see myself in searches all the time. They're like, that guy's long gone, right? So they don't want me here. This is why I'm here. If I just went over to Rumble, would I get deleted? No, I have a channel over there. But so you don't think Rumble is owned by the government? Of course it is. It's a hive mind. It's a conservative hive mind. What they fear most is reaching new people and waking them up to the trap of the left and the right. They control both sides. The world wouldn't be as crazy as it is right now if they didn't control both sides and move forward with what they're doing. They had to get control of both sides to start this. That's why the Republican side just walks around in circles and goes, we're going after Hunter Biden. We're going after this stuff that these people are supposedly, guilty of. They're guilty of way worse, but the stuff in the open with money to China, and this is all treason. They're not just guilty. I mean, they would be impeached and imprisoned, the whole parties. Okay? They're gaslighting you. They're doing nothing on purpose because they're compromised. They don't want you to realize the Republicans are compromised. So they try to give you little truths here and pretend like they're fighting for you there. That's why they made the CIA the big bad enemy in the public eye all of a sudden. Usually if you talk about the CIA, you'd be banned. Now the alt-right's allowed to, right? Because it builds credibility to the conservative side. Nothing will be done to them. The CIA knows it. I know it. I mean, I know the CIA is unstoppable, right? All I'm trying to do is speak freely and reach people and wake them up. So they're prepared when the grid goes down. So they're prepared for what's coming next. So they psychologically don't fall into the trap. Because this war that's going on with all of us, it's in our minds. And they know that. You can break free from it. It's in our minds that it's being fought. It's a fake illusion of a world happening around us. They're creating the events. They're simulating our perception of reality. And if you come out of it, they lose control of you. And now is an imperative time that they can't lose control of you, especially the conservatives. Not so much the Dems, because they're done for. They're finished. They're 100% going along with the smart cities, the mark of the beast. That's a lock. It's the conservatives that they're working on. Whether they're bringing you into Republican states to hit you with weaponized weather, to hit you with direct energy weapons, because that's ultimately what it's leading to. They could hit a coin from miles away, sitting in a field. Okay, they're going to know where conservatives are sitting, what events they're attending, and they're going to drill you. And they're going to tell conservatives that it's a fire. They're going to have controlled media like they do now because all these people pretending to be oppressed are not. The alt-right media is not oppressed. They want you to think so because the more victimized they are, the more credibility they gain in the audience's eyes. And is that what I'm doing? No, it's not. Because this is what real victimization actually looks like. But I don't want to be a victim. I'm not trying to play a victim. I want to speak. And I refuse to take it up my ass from Google, from YouTube, or from anybody else. This is me drawing my foot in the sand. This war on free speech, this war on my content, it's not over. It's not over by a long shot. I will continue on. Whether it's on my website, whether it's on YouTube, wherever. Like I said, I ain't got no quit in me at all. And this intimidation, these gang stalking tactics that they do, they will not work on me. I'm psychologically too strong for it. Do I get tired? Yes. Do I get angry? Yes, but I refuse to let it silence me. I fully believe that God put me here for this purpose. And I will continue to fully fight until I believe if God tells me to stop doing it, then I will. Because he's the only person I would not stand up against. But I will stand up against this tyrannical government. I will stand up against all these pussies at YouTube and at Google. And I will continue to speak my mind, whether anybody likes it or not. And I promise you, if anything is taken against me, any threats are taken out, trying to put me in a jail cell, I promise you I will raise an army inside that jail cell. You better put me in solitary confinement then. I will raise an army inside that prison. If you haven't subscribed yet, again, A Rebel Call is my channel. A Wake Up Call is my other channel that I'm attempting to build out. I'm only mentioning those here because there could be other ones that they don't know about, which some of you do know, but I'm not leaving links to them here. So hopefully some of you subscribe to those as well. And this video is not staying up for too long because I'm not really interested in getting this channel nuked, but if it gets nuked, I'll survive. because I always do, right? Just think about one last thing here. Could you imagine one of these huge YouTubers like PewDiePie, etc.? Penguins, that's a guy, some guy Penguin, whatever, some loser that sits in his chair talking about nonsense. He has no clue about anything going on in the world, yet his audience listens to him and they think he has a clue about stuff. Not a clue. Absolute waste of life, waste of breath. He's one of the people that reported me to Google, to YouTube, because he's a high-ranking YouTuber, so he has a direct access to them. He actually did a live stream and stumbled upon my channel. And what did he do during that? Well, he told everybody. He's like, this is horrible. How does anybody listen? He couldn't believe I had 500,000 subs. Couldn't believe. I had 500,000 subs in less than a year. And it was going until everybody in the Truth Movement got shadow banned. Every channel, my channel. Who else was around? Richie from Boston, Truth, scariest movie ever. I'm trying to think of them all. Everybody went from getting like 3,000 subscribers a month to none because we were all shadow banned. So I couldn't imagine what my channel would have reached, but it probably would have been more than Penguins, okay? But just imagine if he woke up and his channel was gone. These are the people that are saying, get rid of this guy, right? His hate speech. Imagine that, how they would respond if their one channel was gone, let alone we're getting very close to 100. I'm in the 80s now. So just imagine if one of theirs with 1 million subs was gone, let alone 100. And every one of those, with the exception of probably the last 15, had 100,000 minimum subs, okay? These people would lose their minds. They would cry. I'm not crying about it. I'm just telling you, this is how unbelievable it's getting, that you can't even find my website in a Google search. Now, if you're somebody out there and you're searching and you find it, let me know, because I've used a VPN. I've had other people test it for me. And like I said, I had somebody, a great subscriber on the website, who emailed me and told me about it, okay? You let me know. How unbelievable, really, how unbelievable. And so for people who look and they're like, oh, it doesn't really, I've heard people go, well, this guy doesn't really reveal that much truth, right? Why? Because I don't go into certain detail about a subject that might interest you more than it interests me. I've gone into deep detail about really serious events like satanic ritual abuse, okay? Pizzagate, it was pretty serious. Jonestown, all these other fake events, all these fake shootings that have occurred at schools. So for people to say that, it's a little ridiculous, but sometimes they're like, well, you know, it's just kind of, he touches on stuff. Well, if you needed more proof that I'm a threat to these people, there you go. I thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Sub to the other channels now. Highly recommend you join the website, but guess what? You won't find it in a Google search. So just remember, when they take it down or take down whatever, this channel, I should say, it's a call for an uprising.com, but I'm sure sooner than later, they'll just take the whole website down. Again, and I'll try to sue, and I won't have a chance because I've read the protocols of the elders of Zion. I know how it all works, right? Right? What's funniest about it is they keep doing this to me. I know it's the government, and then they want me to pay taxes. That's pretty funny too, right? Yeah, let me give you my tax. Is that legal? The government owns YouTube. They shut my channels down, and then they want me to pay taxes on any revenue I make from Google. Now, why would I do that if the government themselves are trying to make sure I don't make any income, make sure that I don't have any right to speak? Pretty incredible, right? The upside down we're living in. But as far as I'm concerned, these people can all, excuse my French, kiss my ass. I thank you for being here, everybody. God bless all of you and your families, as always.